This is the native cemetery. I don't go in these anymore because someone got mad at me one time for doing that. So I leave them alone now. And down the other side of that little road is the Caucasian cemetery, and I go in there. They're still burying people there today. I've been for years. Somewhere in heaven, I guess. There's that little church. This one's been painted green. Okay, and behind this big pile of cement guards is Spence's Bridge. They did some remodeling on the bridge there in 2005. And there's a waterfall across the river. I don't know the name of it, or the creek. There it is. There was a landslide here which blocked off the river years ago. And I guess they had rerouted it a bit. I'm not exactly sure, but in that area there. So now we're going to head down the canyon toward Yale, where my trip started. I guess in answer to prayers for a closer walk with God, the God of the Bible, the only God, Jehovah, and His Son Jesus and the Holy Spirit, which are with me to this day, and have brought me places that I never ever thought I could ever go because of their love for a lost little boy. Okay, I'm going to get back in the car. See you later. Okay, we're ready to take off for Lytton. Hang in there. Just gonna drive down the road a bit, turn her off. Lots of trucks drive through this canyon. I guess it's a little easier to go through the canyon than over the Coquihalla, especially in the wintertime. It's just below freezing today. Big high pressure area. Here we go. Lytton 36. Driving along the Thompson River here, a nice clear river which flows into the Fraser at Lytton, and that's a very dirty river. So we'll stop here and turn the camera off. A lot of these little wayside cafes and stops, you're probably feeling the pinch nowadays. Market. Whoa, again. Let's turn the camera on here because we're going to go through some pretty windy section. Probably take us about 5 minutes, so hope you don't get too bored. two railways that run along this canyon. The Canadian National Railway on one side of the river, and the Canadian Pacific Railway, which run on the other side of the river. And they swap back and forth. I don't know how it exactly works. I think they're both owned by American interests. At least the CN and CP I'm not too sure about. A lot of water went through here one time. Lots of gravel. Notice it's been very dry up until now, because we're passing through the tip of the great American desert. It goes all the way down Washington State, Idaho, Nevada, California, Arizona, Utah, New Mexico. This is the northern tip of it. It goes up to about Cache Creek, a little north of Cache Creek, over to Kamloops, down through the Okanagan, Merritt, Spence's Bridge, down to Lytton, and then south of Lytton it turns into a rainforest. You get to the coastal mountains. 50k here, pretty wild. Can you imagine driving this at night? Trucks flying around. Some pretty wild rapids in here. See the whitewater guys come through here. Railways up here. I don't know which is which. Up here we're going to come to some very tight 40-kilometer turns. You can see where the trucks have bounced off the walls, eh? One time during my 2-hour ride with God, I can remember looking up in the rearview mirror and seeing headlights and shifting down. That's the only recollection I have of the road, or anything else for that matter, except talking with God. He's still with me, but not to the same extent. How deep this canyon is. It's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon and the sun is not shining down into it. 40k. A lot of potholes in the road this time of year. These particular banks were made somewhere. They have the year on, I think 57.